There's this whole beautiful realm of consciousness that opens up when we take the pause and slow down, because we become the observer, like we really do. Eckhart Tolle was massive for it. That, we could go on and on with lists of names and teachers, but we become the observer. We become the watcher. There's like a buffer between me and my thoughts or my higher self. And just in observing the thoughts, it just lightens everything, it just uplifts everything, because I've now got that buffer zone where I'm observing my thoughts. I know that I'm not that story. I know that I'm not my thoughts. I know, in fact, I'm not even the thinker. And just by expanding that and coming into that place of observing the thoughts, well, now I feel lighter. Now I feel less under pressure. And so just taking that step back, we just go easier on ourselves. Life becomes easier. The inner peace becomes way more accessible because I'm able to just find my center, just find a moment, just find my center. Oh, look, I'm doing that thing again, observing myself, doing that thing again, and even then giving it a name, I'm behaving in that way again, and observing that, being the watcher of myself. Then I can start to create new ways of doing things. If I behave a certain way to a certain trigger, I don't need to do that anymore. It changes. We change, we evolve. And through these beautiful pauses and these reflections and just taking a step back, this is why nature's so important for us, because we are part of nature. We are part of Mother Earth. We are part of this global consciousness, this global collective, this field of consciousness. We are part of that. We're not this one individual trapped in my little body and in my little mind. We're not that. We're more than that. Way, way more than that. We're divine. We're divine miracles walking around in these bodies, part of a bigger thing. And these pauses and these reflections and becoming the observer of myself really just allows for that quiet to drop in, that stillness to drop in. It allows space for reflection. And then it allows us to move forward in the world in a whole different way. We move differently. We respond differently. We become much, much more aware of our behaviour. Stress responses, all of that stuff just starts to fall away. It's not easy. It takes dedication, takes daily practice, takes discipline, takes commitment. It's all that stuff that's difficult. We don't want to commit or be disciplined, especially if we're free spirits. I know how that feels. But it's a balance, It's creating the balance between the masculine, giving ourselves structure, protecting ourselves, balance, and the marriage with the feminine, receiving, creating, all of that softness, the lovely, yummy stuff that I've embraced for so long, but bringing the structure in with the masculine and the marriage of the two within us, acknowledging that, witnessing that, being the witness of ourselves. It creates this gorgeous space inside that is just expansive, and we can bring that into our everyday lives. really easily and really simply. It doesn't have to be a big deal or years and years and years and years of practice. Years and years and years and years of practice takes years and years and years and years and years, and so it's never ending. We don't become anything. We are becoming all the time. So I love this practice of non-duality, call it what you will, but definitely being the observer of myself. So then I can make a difference. Then I can show up in the world in the way that I want to, in the way that I'm meant to, in the way that my soul came into my body to serve in this world. If I'm all up in my head and I'm distracted and I'm worried and I'm anxious and I'm trying to figure shit out, I'm not showing up with presence, with authenticity. So this self-reflection piece, there's so much to be said for it, and it sounds, there's a paradox in all of it, but that's life. Life is a bloody paradox. There's light and there's dark. There's a whole spectrum out here. And the paradox is this level of self-discipline, self-awareness, self-development, personal growth, all that stuff that's like, oh, it's really self-centered and a bit cringe. Well, yeah, but also it's necessary, because if I don't know myself, I don't know how I'm showing up in the world. I'm not being fully present with the things that are in front of me right here and now. And when I'm not present with that, I'm stuck in my head and I'm somewhere else. Therefore, I'm living in this illusion. I'm living in a life that isn't real here and now, rooted, grounded here, in this body. I'm somewhere else. I'm not present. So these pauses, these reflections, the self-discipline and the practice, and committing to that practice every damn day. Oh, some days it's a real drag, Well, you'll know. It's not easy. But when we do it, when we find this sanctity inside, it's so nice. So nice. Beyond nice, we realise we're divine. We realise that all the scriptures that we've been reading over all the years and all the amazing teachers that we've had over all the years, now their teachings are dropping in. Now we're embodying that for ourselves. And that's possible, and it's simple, through deep breathing, through spiritual practice. Could be very, very simple practices. Connecting with the light, connecting with the daylight, connecting with nature. Every day, checking in on myself. How am I doing? How am I feeling? What do I need? First, because now I know when I'm feeding myself and I'm feeding my soul and I'm nourishing myself, now my cup is full. Now I can come out in the world and be real and authentic and loving and coming from this space, not lost in here of how I think it should be and what I think it should look like. Gone are those days. We're coming from here now. We're coming from a heart-centered space. We're running our businesses from our hearts because we care. And really coming into the heart and into the body. That's where the magic happens. Magic isn't this mysterious, hidden, inaccessible something that only the witches and wizards were able to connect with. No, we all have it. We all have it every day. Have you ever picked up a leaf and looked at a leaf, for example, in great detail? All the tiny lines, all the tiny veins, that's grown from nothing. And then it fell off the tree and it disintegrates into the earth. That's a piece of magic. That's a miracle right there. The fact that we are here and that we're breathing and that we're walking and that we're talking, that's magic right there. You know, the rise of quantum physics has shown us that everything is energy and that we manipulate energy. We manipulate the energy around us. So we create the life that we want to live. We create the magic. We are the witches and wizards, whether we label ourselves as that or not, whether we want to see ourselves as that or not. We're capable of great things and we're capable of making magic every day just by being. Just by being is a miracle and is magic. And we become more and more aware of what a miracle and what magic we are and we can create when we do take these pauses and we do recognize I'm not my thoughts, I'm the watcher, I'm the observer. What's the observer? Well, that's divine. That's divine consciousness. That's consciousness. Something more, something divine, something beautiful. Yes, perhaps there's a bit of mystery in that, but doesn't that make it yummy? It does for me. I hope that you can create some magic in your day, some simplicity, much simpler than we think it is. We don't have to cast any complex spells, although our words are that, and that's a whole nother discussion. Consciousness around the things that we say and the things that we do, but just being conscious and being present of the things that we say and the things that we do, and taking this step back to become the observer. You know, there's so much strength in that. That means that we can then show up in the world and we can create because we believe we can. And when we know what we want, we're clear on what we want, and we believe that we can do it, and we just do it. The obstacles are removed. Jaya Ganesha, the obstacles are removed. And we do create the reality that we want. We're not perfect. No one's perfect. We're not meant to be. I hope this resonates, and I'm always up for discussing these kinds of things. You can tell I'm passionate about this kind of stuff, so I'm always up for a coffee chat. I'll put the link down below. Not really touting for business, just to connect with like-minded people, you know, because these are the discussions that when we bring them into our reality, we're solidifying it. You know, this is a practice, solidifying it. Sending you all the love, reminding you you're divine. Ciao for now.